Oh, we didn't talk about the most important thing of literally the whole fucking week.
Ready?
Meg the Stallion gets shot by Tory Lanez.
Yeah.
We also have to talk about that and the Migos QC situation.
I kind of don't like the thing. It's really hard to have a conversation with the Tory and Meg thing because it's like, oh, here's somebody mega famous who did something that nobody could ever excuse or understand to another very famous person. What do you really say? You know, like there was a moment I was on the Joe Budden podcast the other day. They pretty much had whatever there was to say about it, and like at the end of it, like Maul had to like clarify, like, oh yeah, by the way, like if this is true, you are a bitch ass. Whatever,
nigga,
you know, like I mean, it's so obvious. Like you are a terrible person if you shot Meg Stallion in the foot. It seems likely that's what happened, but it's like a delayed thing because we haven't seen the video, but there is a video.
And
no fucking way.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Multiple sources have confirmed that there is a video somewhere. But see, this is the thing too. It's like, yeah, we can't really fully speak on it. Like I remember you were saying, I saw you saying that you seem like it seems like the cancellation of Tory Lanez is kind of delayed because it's like once it comes out of what actually happened, it's like it's just going to be done from there. Right. But it hasn't happened yet because, you know, she hasn't fully came out and just said this is what happened. The story hasn't been really released, and she said something on Instagram that really changed my whole perspective. Not my whole perspective, but it just made me realize what was actually going on. Of the fact that everyone's like making jokes about it as memes. It's like memes of Tory, like, you know, shooting her like on the fucking like Menace to Society like meme or whatever and shit like that. And it's like black women go through so much like trauma and violence and shit, and they always protect and put the other people first. This happened to my own mother. My dad almost killed my mom in front of me when I was a kid, and she never called the cops on him. The cops came, but she didn't press any charges, nothing like that. And it's just like, you see these stories all the time where, you know, Meg hasn't came out and really said anything.
But you know what Meg has done, though, is that she's made it pretty much without saying Tory shot me in the foot. She's pretty much said everything that she needs to say to make it clear that that's what happened, because she said like one of the scenarios is like, oh, well, what if he was just holding the gun and the gun went off by accident? She said in her statement, it was intentional. It was an attack on her life. So she hasn't fully said, like, she hasn't fully snitched on Tory, but she's made it clear, like, all those other hypothetical scenarios, those are not it.
The fact,
because she said everything without saying it directly, and even people being like, okay, the third person in the car, her friend even came out and was like, it wasn't me. So there's literally one.
And you see the bodyguard being mad at Tory.
Oh man,
and the
DJ was like,
what the fucking bodyguard said. He was like,
the bodyguard, we with niggas that don't aim at feet.
Yep, exactly.
And this is the whole thing about it, is that if it wasn't so bad, the reaction might actually be worse. Because think about the video of Bari. When the video came out of Bari and the girl in the hotel room, I mean, that comparatively, even like your worst thing that you can imagine was happening in that clip is 100 times less offensive than shooting Meg Thee Stallion in the foot. But when that shit happened, it was like the timeline was like, it was, and I mean, granted, Tory was like #1 trending, but without a visual aid, it seems like it's kind of hard for people to fully like accept this, because I don't think the Chris Brown thing was that bad until you saw that picture of Rihanna's face.
How soon did the picture get released after that story?
I think it was a couple days.
Yeah, it might have got like released within the same time frame.
Because you hear about some domestic violence shit, and it's kind of like, oh, well, maybe it wasn't that bad. Maybe he pushed her, or maybe, you know, he threw her in the wall and she bumped her head, whatever. Like maybe it's not that bad. Maybe it's something that we could forgive. The shooting in the foot thing seems like it's kind of beyond anything that the public in general is going to be able to forgive, right?
I've seen a couple people too keep trying to refer to like, oh, you know, why does nobody talk about Rihanna started the fight first and punched him first, or like what if. I even said this. I was like, what if Meg was like beating his ass and she's like clearly taller than him or whatever? But that doesn't excuse
probably just take the L.
It's not probably like you. Yeah. Even if Meg Thee Stallion had you on the ground stomping you out, like you can't shoot her in the foot.
Yeah. Hey man, there would be some wild video if she was just like straight delivering like rampage
Honestly,
style.
that'd be super fire.
Ground and pound, like Tory's actually
What
like
could they have been-
about to tap
wanna
out.
know
Like
so bad.
Tory's on his last leg. No, you want to hear what my story? Because me and AD are connected in the streets.
Okay.
So
Give me-
I've heard a few stories.
Me and AD or just AD?
So what I'm hearing, my version that I've heard from various people that have basically then been
Trusted
filtered
sources?
through AD, yes, very
Okay.
trusted sources, is that Megan and Tory have been fucking. They've been chilling. They go to this house party. Kylie Jenner is there. I heard, depending on who you want to ask, that either Tory was showing too much attention to Kylie Jenner or Kylie Jenner was showing too much attention to Tory. Either way, Meg did not appreciate it. Meg, maybe at this point in her career, has a little bit of an ego. She's feeling
For sure.
herself. She doesn't feel like she has to deal with any disrespect. I
felt
heard
that.
Meg was violating his ass, that they got into a fight that was like bad, and I heard that
Goddamn.
she was like really shitting on him, like really like
I could see her doing that.
disrespecting the fuck. Obviously, this doesn't justify
No,
anything
none
he
of
did.
that. None of that.
But that's what I heard, is that it was bad, like the altercation that they were in, and like the level of violation that he maybe was feeling. Obviously, not a reason for any violence to occur. Never mind
No.
a gunshot, but
Never mind a gunshot. Yeah.
that's what we heard. And
Yeah, I watched
mean-
there was like a short live stream of Megan on Instagram Live, and she had
Right.
Kylie in it, and then like they're both posing and looking cute, and then Tori tries to like swim up and be in the shot. She's like, Tori, don't get my phone wet, and then he kind of like backs off.
yeah,
And I was like,
you know, when I was watching Quarantine Radio, there was such an
Quarantine.
I was watching it just thinking like, it's so amazing that Tory Lanez has found himself in this position, which now it is very, very hard for him to imagine him being in, but where he is so universally loved by all these girls, and all these girls seem to think that he's such a good guy that they are comfortable going on his live and shaking their ass and getting fucking
I don't
butt
think they
naked,
do that
etc.
because he's a good guy.
Okay.
Well, but they trust him to be the host of this.
Okay.
A lot of guys would not be considered necessarily
Hell
an
no.
appropriate host for this
Mm.
level
It's a
of
lot
debauchery.
it's a lot of niggas that even if they had the same amount of followers or just like
Yeah.
level of clout, whatever, that bitches would not just be down and just bust it down on their live.
Especially,
I think
it's
being
so
an
many
R&B
different
singer
girls.
Yeah.
So many
But look,
porn star
let's-
girls I know and stuff. Like,
but
so
let's
many
just-
guys have fucked up images in terms of stuff with women. Like, maybe not fully fucked up, but at least like they have some allegations. They have this one thing that's bad that women hate him for or whatever. Tory has pretty much avoided that throughout his career. It's not like he
Yeah.
ever really had that reputation.
But can we be honest? Like you were talking about how he like became basically universally loved. The thing is, it's like the love isn't necessarily filtered directly towards him. It's more filtered just towards bitches shaking their asses on his Instagram story. It's not like I saw somebody else talking about this where like you compare it to the Chris Brown Rihanna situation where like Chris Brown was like that nigga, like he like Academics was talking about this actually,
Right.
that Chris Brown was like so loved and like, you know,
People are looking at him like the next MJ.
yeah, and like he even had like that. He even has that fan base now that still defends that shit to this day. Like grown women
Team
that
Breezy.
you know. So it's
The
like
fact that Chris Brown still has the career that he has is honestly pretty fucking
It's a
amazing.
testament.
It's
But
crazy.
also says a lot about the fact that he had this whole deal in like what 2003 or whatever
Yeah,
when that happened. I mean, 2020 is a lot different. Also,
well, he came
Well,
out in like
and
2003,
Chris,
but that,
like Tory Lanez is super talented, but Tory Lanez's music is not necessarily
It's
going to
nowhere-
carry him this whole way. Whereas Chris Brown, I feel like is actually like, and Tory
And-
Lanez is really good, but I feel like Chris Brown is
Chris
just
Brown was
musically
beloved.
he's bigger, he's
Yeah.
better. Tory puts up.
he was like a
projects that
child star too.
And
I heard
people-
that's one of the things that she said to him is like, you ain't even on Billboard. I heard
No,
that
she
bar
probably
was tossed out there.
She probably was violent. I could see her really because think about that. Think about being Meg the Stallion and like obviously this nigga is on some clout shit. If he's like you come to the party with him and then he's trying to like like make a little move on Kylie because Kylie has more followers and is more
You know, a
popular.
little up
Whatever.
on her. You know, if Kylie's acting nice to you, you might get a little
Oh,
enthusiastic.
for sure,
might
but
piss your girl off a
you
little
can't
bit,
do
right?
you can't do that in front of Meg the Stallion. No, you gotta do that later. You gotta DM her later on.
I wonder if Kylie smashed him before, though. That's a question.
I don't know, but the fact that like
I feel like Meg the Stallion needs like a sign outside her door that says like you must be this height
tall
in
to
order
ride
to
this
get on
ride.
this ride.
that was definitely probably something that was thrown out. You short ass, bitch ass, non-billboard ass, restored hairline ass, chipmunk teeth ass, Chick-fil-A teeth ass. She was probably going in on that nigga.
Jumped ass.
You old, no, that was hard.
I'm not gonna lie. Bring that up.
I'm not gonna lie, that was tight.
He gets so mad.
But she's so big. Can you imagine what it would be like to have his little ass like kind of crawling up her leg and like he's just a little spider monkey, just like sort of like crawling all over there, you know? Yeah, like I don't really think it would look right.
The funny thing is, I saw there's a photo. You know how they love putting a photo with the two people and then like the article or whatever. Yeah. So the picture they keep posting is like him bended over and like in front of her, and I don't know. They just look. You
mean I saw a picture of her bent over in front of him. I'm like, what?
Her bended over in front of him, and I was just like,
he's like
this doesn't look right.
He's like this. Her ass is like up here to his chest.
Can I just all right?
Wait. Let me say something real quick. What if G-Eazy would have shot her when they
no. He's out of here. He's way too white to be shooting Meg Stallion.
Remember they were mollied up and he was like making out with the side of her face.
They were talking about that Joe Budden. They're like, you know how you be tasting just the makeup, but she's so bad you just keep doing it. You just sucking the makeup off.
Are you sucking the perfume on the neck?
And it tastes so bad, but you're like, I'm gonna just keep sucking until I can't taste this anymore. Yeah, no, that's real.
The perfume neck is terrible.
Fuck, what was I just about to say? Oh yeah, all right. This is an incident when Tory Lanez came to do the interview. And by the way, for the record, he was super cool when we did the interview. Very nice guy. I liked him a lot. Up until this news, never had anything bad to say about him. But I will say that there was a situation where basically some gangsters of sorts were lurking around by the Sprinter that Tory had traveled there in. Tory had a security guard that was a fucking monster. Like he's like 7-something LA tattooed on his face. They were saying he just got out of jail. The kind of guy that could probably beat up like 99.9% of human beings on earth. Nobody involved in his crew had a gun, right? But there's these gangsters sort of like congregating by the Sprinter, right? Somebody that was in my camp had a gun. The security guard was about to take the gun and put it in his pants and then go talk to these guys who were by the car to like make sure the situation was cool. Tory was like, nah, give it to me. I'm holding it. Oh, God. Which kind of like blew my mind. I'm like, why the fuck does he want to be the one holding the fucking gun? Like, this is what he has security for. But in that moment, I was like, this really stands out to me as some extra ass shit. Why the fuck? And I don't think that he actually ended up holding the gun to go have this argument or whatever.
Just that mindset
and because his team's there too. He's got like managers, like they're like, seeing this argument where he's trying to say that he wants to be the one holding the gun to go out and argue with these guys. He shouldn't even be the one going out to argue with these guys. He shouldn't even be,
That's what your security is for.
It was bugged out. But like I've heard other stories since then about Tory that kind of make it clear that like, he is the kind of guy who at times might feel the need to sort of like overcompensate for.
It's like some little man syndrome shit, bro.
I mean, what happened with Selena?
Who, man, and she's.
I forgot about that.
According to Selena, she got a big ass settlement for that shit too.
God damn.
I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying that either, but the reason why we haven't heard nothing about that in the media and shit is because she got broke the fuck off by Tory's team, which he probably gonna need some of that money for whatever the fuck he gonna be paying Megan.
I see, but Megan don't need his money, so that's the thing where it's like.
But Megan also didn't snitch. She went to the. She said she had glass in her foot, so that's why we were all thrown off the scent for a little while.
But that's why.
But I feel like she back took that and then what kind of made the statement of like, well, no, someone's trying to intentionally fucking harm me.
I think Meg at the end of the day knows that she is looked at in a way where nobody wants to see her talking to the cops, so she'll put out her little statement privately or whatever. The real question is if the gun that he got arrested with matches the bullet fragments in her fucking ankle, then what do the cops do with that information? Like, is it going to be the kind of thing where they have to press charges regardless if she wants to be snitching?
And like, let's just be honest with like the gun carrying laws in California are so strict, and like so he might not
He's from Canada.
He might not ever be allowed back in the country just off the gun charge alone. And then if he gets like a assault with a deadly weapon charge or some shit like that, he won't ever be able to come back here to tour ever again.
Yeah, I mean,
he's deported. He's back in Canada.
It's two different things,
remember we were on tour and our friend who was from Canada was scared of even being in the same vehicle as a gun because she was like, I could get deported and never be let back in.
And then we had to ride a fucking dirty ass Greyhound, and then she got her suitcase stolen from the bottom. That whole tour was just.
I didn't know that happened at all.
Yeah.
Your homie got caught
No, she didn't get caught.
But her suitcase got stolen on the Greyhound?
Yes, we took a Greyhound because we didn't want to ride with you crazies.
Oh, because of the straps.
Exactly, and then her fake monogram Louis Vuitton suitcase got stolen from the bottom.
Really?
Very sad.
That reminds me, about 20 years ago, I forgot a Rockaware hat on the bus, the Chinatown bus. Boom, shit was gone. I went to the Wendy's, got a Baconator, came back, and hat was gone.
They didn't have Baconators 20 years ago.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Similar story,
I'm lying. I went to Wendy's or some shit. I came back, hat was
Wendy's?
gone. I was hurt. It was a Rockaware fitted. I was feeling myself.
Yeah, that's kind of hard. Like a denim Rockaware fitted. That'd be kind of
all
hard.
black with the black logo, like real low key.
Were you wearing it like this, like to the side?
That's the kind of hat you catch a body in.
No, he wore it so it's like hanging off.
Yeah, you had to wear. You had to wear it like T.I. Like
Oh yeah. That was it. Yeah. My first ever photo in a BMX magazine, Rockaware hoodie. So don't ever say I don't support black businesses.
No,
You
be
supported-
like Yuri and get a FUBU jersey for the
You
first
supported
time.
black
And then
business
find
by
out-
giving me a chain.
Find out 10 years later that is what FUBU stands for.
It's kind of heavy, honestly.
And he thought that Matt Damon owned it.
Definitely
No,
missing a couple
I
diamonds.
seen Lucha with no mask on though.
Oh, I saw
No way.
Lucha with no mask. Actually, have I?
Oh, he said what's up to me in public with no mask on. I'm like, who the fuck are you?
I
And he was
love
like
Lucha.
Lucha, and
Yeah.
you're like, what?
He's like me, amigo.
Is he white?
No,
I think
he's
he's
Mexican.
Mexican.
I don't think he's Mexican at all. I think it's all a front.
Him wearing that
I don't think
fucking
so.
mask would be some crazy ass cultural appropriation.
Yeah, if he was not
wasn't Mexican, yeah. Hey, this has been another episode of the No Jumper Show. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you want to support, like, comment, subscribe, and go to nojumper.com. Get yourself a kendama or a t-shirt or something. Appreciate y'all.